हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम। प्रभु जी, रिकॉर्डिंग स्टार्ट करो प्रभु जी, प्लीज।
Yeah.
यस प्लीज। को होस्ट आई स्टार्ट।
Thank you.
यस। आप
Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण।
Humble obeisance to all the devotees of Sri Radha. Single system. Am I audible clearly?
यस प्रभु।
Okay. Hare Krishna. So all of you, please keep your video on as usual. Welcome to the today's Bhakti Shastri class. Thank you for being very punctual. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanasalakaya
ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया
Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri
तस्मै
Gurave Namaha
श्रीगुरवे नमः।
Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam
चैतन्यमनोभीष्टं
Sthapitam Yena
स्थितं
Bhutale
येन भूतले
Swayam Rupa
स्वयं
Kadamaiham
रूपं
Tadati Swapadantikam
तदान्तिकं
Vandeham Shri
देहं
Guru
श्रीगुरो
Padakamalam Shri
श्रीयुतापदकमलं
Guru
गुरु
Vaishnavamscha
वैष्णवांश्च
Shri Rupam
रूपं
Sagrajatam
साग्रजातं
Sagaramatam
रत्नाकान्तिकं तं
Sajivam
सजीवं
Sadvaitam
साद्वैतं
Savadhutam
सावधूतं
Harijana Sahitam Krishna
परिजनसहितं
Chaitanya Devam
कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं
Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana
कृष्णपादान्
Lalita Shri
सहगणललिता
Vishakhanvitamscha
श्रीविशाखान्वितां च
Namam
नमो
Vishnupadaya Krishna
विष्णुपत्ये
Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati
कृष्णपृष्ठभूतले
Bhakti
श्रीमते
Vedanta Swami Nityanamini
भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्यति नामिने
Namaste
नमस्ते
Saraswati Devi
सरस्वती देवे
Gauravani
गौरवाणी
Pracharine
प्रचण्डे
Nirvishesha Shunyavadi
शून्यवादी
Paschatare Shitarini
पाश्चात्यदेश धारिणे
Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna
वदन्याय
Priya
कृष्ण
Hridayate
प्रेम
Krishnaya
प्रदयते
Krishna
कृष्ण
Chaitanya Namni
नाम्ने
Gaurakrishna
गौरस्पति नमः।
He Krishna
हे
Karuna
कृष्ण करुणा
Sindhu
सिंधु
Dinabandhu Jagatpate
दीनबन्धो
Gopeshu
जगत्पते
Gopika
गोपीश
Kanta Radha
गोपिकान्त
Kalam
राधाकान्त नमः।
Tattvamchana Gaurangi
कान्त गौराङ्गी राधे
Radharani
वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानु देवी प्रणमामि हरि प्रिये।
Vanchakalpatarvishya Eva
कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा
Chapadamani
वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो
Jai
नमः।
Shri Krishna
श्री
Chaitanya
कृष्ण
Prabhu
चैतन्य
Nityananda
आनंद
Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi
श्री
Gaura
भक्तांति भक्तवृंद।
Hare
हरे
Krishna
कृष्ण
Krishna
कृष्ण
Krishna
कृष्ण
Hare
हरे
Hare
हरे हरे हरे
Hare
राम
Rama
हरे
Rama
राम
Rama
राम राम हरे
Hare
हरे।
Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna. So we are almost on the age of completion of the Unit 1, Chapter 6, text number 40 onwards. we are going to now recite those verses and discuss. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Parthanaiveha namutra vinashastasya vidyate. So our method of recitation is the one line, two times. Parthanaiveha namutra
पार्थनैवेह नामुत्र पार्थनैवेह नामुत्र
vinashtastasya vidyate.
विनाशस्तस्य विद्यते विनाशास्तस्य विद्यते
न हि कल्याणकृत् कश्चित्
न हि
न हि
कल्याणकृत् कश्चित् न हि कल्याणकृत् कश्चित्
दुर्गतिं तात गच्छति.
दुर्गतिं तात गच्छति
गच्छति
दुर्गतिं तात गच्छति
गच्छति
प्राप्य पुण्यकृतां लोकान्
प्राप्य पुण्यकृतां लोकान् प्राप्य पुण्यकृतां लोकान्
उक्षित्वा शाश्वतिः समाः.
उषित्वा शाश्वतिः समाः
उषित्वा
उषित्वा शाश्वतिः
शाश्वतिः
समाः
शुचीनां श्रीमतां गेः
शुचीनां
श्रीनां
श्रीमतां
श्रीमतां
गेः
गेः
शुचीनां श्रीमतां गेः
योगभ्रष्टोऽभिजायते.
योगभ्रष्टोऽभिजायते
भ्रष्टोऽभिजायते
योगभ्रष्टोऽभिजायते
अथवा योगिनामेव
अथवा
योगिनामेव योगिनामेव
कुले भवति धीमताम्.
कुले
कुले
भवति
भवति
धीमताम्
धीमताम्
कुले
कुले
भवति
भवति
धीमताम्
धीमताम्
एतद्धि दुर्लभतरम्
एतद्धि
दुर्लभतरम्
एतद्धि
एतद्धि दुर्लभतरम्
लोके जन्म यदीदृशम्.
लोके
लोके जन्म यदीदृशम् जन्म यदीदृशम्
तत्र तं बुद्धिसंयोगम्
तत्र
तत्र तं बुद्धिसंयोगम् बुद्धिसंयोगम्
लभते पौरदेहिकम्.
स्वदेकम् स्वदेकम्
यतते च ततो भूयः
यतते च भूयः
भूयः
यतते
यततो
च
च ततो भूयः
संसिद्धौ कुरु नन्दन.
संसिद्धो कुरु नन्दन
सिद्धो
संसिद्धो
कुरु
कुरु
नन्दन
नन्दन
पूर्वाभ्यासेन तेनैव
पूर्वाभ्यासेन तेनैव पूर्वाभ्यासेन
पूर्वाभ्यासेन
तेनैव
तेनैव
क्रियते ह्यवशोऽपि सः.
क्रियते
नवशोऽपि
सः
सः
क्रियते
क्रियते
ह्यवशोऽपि सः
व्यवशोऽपि सः
जिज्ञासुरपि योगस्य
जिज्ञासुरपि
ज्ञासुरपि
योगस्य
योगस्य
जिज्ञासुरपि
ज्ञासुरपि
योगस्य
योगस्य
शब्दब्रह्माति वर्तते.
ब्रह्माति
शब्दब्रह्माति
वर्तते
वर्तते
ब्रह्माति
शब्दब्रह्माति
वर्तते
वर्तते
प्रयत्नात् यतमानस्तु
प्रयत्नाद्यतमानस्तु
मानस्तु
प्रयत्नाद्यतमानस्तु
प्रयत्नाद्यतमानस्तु
योगी संशुद्धकिल्बिषः.
योगी
योगी
संशुद्धकिल्बिषः
संशुद्धकिल्बिषः
योगी
योगी
संशुद्धकिल्बिषः
संशुद्धकिल्बिषः
अनेकजन्म संसिद्ध
अनेकजन्म
अनेकजन्म संसिद्धा
ततो यान्ति परां गतिम्.
ततो
याति परां गतिम् ततो याति
याति
परां
परां
गतिम्
गतिम्
सॉरी, यहाँ पे यान्ति नहीं है, याति है, याति. यहाँ
यान्ति
means added.
Yacha
ततो याति परां गतिम्
ततो याति परां गतिम् ततो याति परां गतिम्
तपस्विभ्योऽधिको योगी
तपस्विभ्योऽधिको योगी तपस्विभ्योऽधिको योगी
ज्ञानिभ्योऽपि मतोऽधिकः
ज्ञानिभ्योऽधिकः ज्ञानिभ्योऽधिकः
कर्मिभ्यश्चाधिको योगी
कर्मिभ्यश्चाधिको योगी कर्मिभ्यश्चाधिको योगी
तस्माद्योगी भवार्जुन
तस्माद्योगी भवार्जुन तस्माद्योगी भवार्जुन
योगिनामपि सर्वेषां
योगिनामपि सर्वेषां
मद्गतेनान्तरात्मना श्रद्धावान् भजते यो माम्
भजते यो माम्
समे युक्ततमो मतः
समे युक्तमतः
So this chapter 6, which is entitled Dhyana Yoga, we have seen in the previous 39 verses. The first 9 verses was focusing on advancing in the Ashtanga Yoga from the Arudhra to the Arudha stage, Yoga Arudha stage. Then next almost 22 verses, 10 verse to 32 verse, there is a discussion about the stages of Ashtanga Yoga practice. And after hearing all the stages of all the Ashtanga Yoga process, Arjuna, being very open-minded, expressing his inability to practice. And also there is a discussion of necessity of controlling the mind and how abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena chikrihate, by practice and renunciation, one can control the mind. Then Arjuna, after hearing the good suggestion given by Krishna, Arjuna is worried about those who cannot control the mind and in between they fall from the process of the yoga. What happens with them? And that's what the question put forth by Arjuna. But even before that, because he is hearing from Krishna that what is the destination of the unsuccessful yogi. What happens to those yogi, those who have not completely achieved success? Yeah. So Arjuna, in the verse number 37, he already mentioned that ayatihi shraddhayopeto yoga chalitamanasaha aprapya yoga samsiddhim kangatim Krishna gacchati. Oh Krishna, what is the destination of the unsuccessful transcendentalists who in the beginning takes to the process of self-realization with the faith, but who later desires due to the worldly-mindedness and thus does not attain perfection in mysticism. So such kind of yogis, they are unriven cloud, the riven cloud with no position in the any sphere. So so Arjuna's inquiries about the fate of such kind of fallen yogi. So now here, verse number 40 onwards, Krishna starts giving answer to the Arjuna's those questions, and that's what we are going to discuss today. Krishna's answer of Arjuna's sincere inquiry, what happens to the fallen yogi. So, पार्थनैवेह नामुत्र विनाशकस् तस्य विद्यते नहि कल्याणकृत् कश्चित् दुर्गतिं तात गच्छति. Yeah, somebody please volunteer to read.
The translation: The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Son of Prutha, a transcendentalist engaged in auspicious activities does not meet with destruction either in this world or in the spiritual world. One who does good, my friend, is never overcome by evil. So, in the very first verse, Krishna gives assurance and hope to Arjuna that, oh Arjuna, transcendentalists who are engaged in auspicious activities, all these are auspicious activity, whether it's Karma Yoga or Jnana Yoga or Ashtanga Yoga, they're all auspicious activities. And definitely such yogis does not meet with the destruction, either in this world or the next, even if he changes body. So one who does good, my friend, is never overcome by evil. In the purport, then immediately Prabhupada quotes from Srimad Bhagavatam 1.5, 17th verse. Tyatva swadharmam charanambucham hare bhajanna pakvochapate tato yadi yatra kvabhatrabhuttam shakim tovartam apto bhajatam swadharmata. So if someone gives up all material prospects and takes complete shelter of the side of Godhead, there is no loss or degradation in any way. On the other hand, a non-devotee may fully engage in the occupational duties and yet not gain anything. So here, he's quoting this verse. For what purpose he's quoting this verse? What is the connection with the Arjuna's question? So here, bhajan apakvocho patet tato yadi. Patet tato yadi. Here, discussion is about the somebody apakva bhajan he is doing and he falls down. What happens to him? And this verse is very hope-giving verse for a devotee, especially. What is mentioned in this verse? That for the sake of Krishna consciousness, he has given him Swadharma, and he is like bhajan apakva, but his bhajan is not fully mature, and he falls down from the path of bhakti. So, yatra kavab ka abhadra abuddhamishyakim. What inauspiciousness is there in this? So, this is what Krishna is telling, that there is no loss or degradation in any way. Yatra ko vabhadra abuddhamishyakim. And he in fact is telling what glory is there is somebody performing his swadharma perfectly, but he is not a devotee, non-devotee, karmi. What is the use of that performing swadharma perfectly? So kovartham apto bhajatam swadharmata dharmasvanishtita pamsa vishpaksena kathasuye na utpadiyat yadiratim shrama eva kevalam. Supporting verses to this, that somebody swanishtita dharma, but he is not developing taste for the Hari Katha, Vasudev Katha, then what is the use of performing that occupational duty? These verses in Srimad Bhagavatam supports this principle. And also, Samsiddhir Haritoshanam, Atapam Vidujasreshta, Varnashrama Vibhakashah, Swanishtatasya Dharmasya, Samsiddhir Haritoshanam. This verse also support the same principle, that everything happens for the Varnashrama duties, for pleasure of Hari. So, what is the use of if somebody is very performing this dharma so nicely, but Hari is not pleased, or there is no endeavor to please Lord Hari, But somebody is endeavoring to please Lord Hari, but his endeavor or his bhajan is not so mature and he falls. What happens? So Krishna says there is no loss. For material uh, prospects, there are many activities, both scriptural and customary. A transcendentalist is supposed to give up all the material activities for the sake of spiritual advancement in life, of Krishna consciousness. So one may argue that by Krishna consciousness, one may attain the highest perfection if it is completed. But if one does not attain such perfect state, then he loses both materially and spiritually. So this is what argument. Oh, न घर का न घाट का धोबी का कुत्ता, न घर का न घाट का, एक कहावत बोलते हैं ना, something like that. Here, yeah, want to see all of you. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. So here, it is enjoined in the scriptures that one has to suffer the reaction for not executing prescribed duties. Therefore, one who fails to discharge the transcendental activity properly becomes subjected to this reaction. So here, it is a Purva Paksha basically. So this argument that somebody is not performing his his Swadharma, he is responsible in performing his Swadharma or Varnashrama duty, and who fails to discharge even the transcendental activities properly, then he should get reaction for not performing his Swadharma. This is what the Purva Paksha, basically, this is what the argument is all about. He should get a reaction because he is considered a papa. Not performing one's occupational duty is sin. And Krishna also told to Arjuna in the Swadharma, previously in the second chapter, that, oh, Arjuna, if you don't perform your duty of a Kshatriya, that is sinful. Not as a Kshatriya, if you kill others, that may not be sinful. But not performing the prescribed duty is the sinful. That's what what are the subject matter, and that is the calculation, and that logic is perfectly applicable in right when it comes to the karma yoga. For the karma yogi, yes, it is applicable. But we are discussing here a different yogi. Here we are discussing about bhakti yogi. You know, for bhakti yogi, different calculation. So that's what the verse is telling, that yatra kwa abhadra buddham shikim. Okay. The Bhagavatam assures the unsuccessful transcendentalists that there need be no worries. Bhagavatam has assured no worries. So the Purva Paksha has no any, it fails basically here, argument fails. So even though he may be subjected to the reaction for not perfectly executing the prescribed duty, he is still not a loser. Because auspicious Krishna consciousness is never forgotten, and one so engaged will continue to be so, even if he is low-born in next life. So, of course, devotees are always responsible. So I was hearing from one of the speaker, one of the very senior devotee, when he came to address Brahmachari class, he was mentioning, oh, all of you Brahmacharis, you have given up your duty for your parents, you know. They were in need of your support. And that too, especially those Brahmachari who are the single son. No any other support for the parent, and so they suffer a lot because of in the old age, they don't get any assistance from Brahmachari because he is in his own world preaching Krishna consciousness. So all of you Brahmachari be very very dutiful, and while being in ashram, all a brahmachari is supposed to perform your duty so perfectly. You should not fail in your duty. If you fail in your duty, you will get the papa or sin of not taking care of your parents. So that was the argument. And then lot of discussion happened back and forth. Also, other senior brahmachari, they told, Prabhu, this is against Bhagavatam principle, what you are mentioning. The basic principle. But he was, but that brahmachari was telling, no, Prabhu, be practical, be practical, be practical. So ultimately, yes, the person or brahmachari, especially in this case, what I was mentioning, he should be responsible. No, either here or there, either here or there. He should not be irresponsible, and that statement makes a brahmachari very dutiful. Otherwise, he will take the either one of the duty very casually, and neither he is doing this duty nor that duty. Okay, that's okay from the point of view of inspiring a brahmachari to perform his duty perfectly, not becoming a lethargic while serving the spiritual master. And also serving spiritual master and his own emancipation or the progress in the bhakti. He should be careful. But at the same time, the principle of the Bhagavatam remains intact like the sun. So that also cannot be neglected. Yes, in spite of his endeavor, if he is unsuccessful in his attempt, whether he's a failure, then here Bhagavatam says no, he tried. But then he goes back to the verse Apichetasu duracharo bhajate mam ananya bhav sadhureva samantamyas kamyak vyavasito hisaha 9.30, which will come in future. We will discuss about it. Where there is a discussion about a yogi, a devotee, but apichetasu duracharo, but he falls down and performs sudurachara activity, very condemned activities. Then Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that I consider such a person as a sadhu, or a devotee who considers such a person sadhu, because in spite of falling down, he has not given up devotional service. He has firmly, he is taking shelter of the bhakti, and his fall down was accidental fall down. And this word accidental, this word, not intentional fall down, but it was an accidental fall down. And that accidental word in the purport 9.30 comes 3-4 times, 3 to 4 times. Accidentally he fall down, accidental fall down, accidental fall down. But he again come back with the full enthusiasm and take shelter of the devotional service, process of the bhakti, association of the devotee. So I consider that's such a person as sadhu. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, a person who considers such a person as a sadhu, he is a sadhu. So this is a glory of devotional service. Shipram bhavati dharmatma shatvat shantim nigacchati konte prati janehi name bhakta pranashyati. Next verse 9.31. That such a person will come back and quickly get established. He will become dharmatma again. Shipram yani very quickly he will become dharmatma. Oh, Arjuna, please declare in the whole assembly here that my devotee will never perish. My devotee will never perish. This is the confidence of Krishna. And Krishna, it is mentioned that Krishna is samo sarva bhuteshu namadveshyasthana priya. He is equal to everyone, but for his devotee especially, but ye bhajantu tam mam bhaktya, for his own devotee, he is partial. Krishna is partial. Krishna is, whether it's partial or not partial. Yes, Krishna is partial only for his devotee. Otherwise, he is
impartial in that sense. So what does it mean? This is same that yes, although somebody may fail in his he gave up the occupational duty, but and he is neither successful in his attempt in the bhakti. Whether it is a failure, there is a lot of hope. No, he is not a failure. Yatra kvava bhadrabuddhamasyakim. So yeah, the purport may be understood as follows: that humanity may be divided into the two sections, namely the regulated and non-regulated. Those who are engaged simply in the bestial sense gratification without knowledge of their next life or spiritual salvation belong to the non-regulated section. So these are all karmi, what we say terminology, karmi, sense gratifiers. And those who follow the principle of the prescribed duties in the scriptures are classified among the regulated section. The non-regulated section, both civilized and non-civilized, educated and non-educated, strong and weak, are full of animal propensities. They may be moral, naitic people, but they are animal. Their activities are never auspicious because while enjoying the animal propensities of eating, mating, sleeping, and defending, they perpetually remain in the material existence, which is always miserable. On the other hand, those who are regulated by the scriptural injunctions and who thus rise gradually to the Krishna consciousness certainly progress in life. So this is applicable, basically, regulated, applicable to all the yogas, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga. So those who are following the path of auspiciousness can be divided in three sections. So here he has mentioned three sections. First is the followers of these scriptural rules and regulations who are enjoying material prosperity. Can you tell me who are they?
Karma yogis, Prabhu.
Yes. Yes. Others also, let them scratch their head. Please give answer. Those who are trying to find ultimate liberation from the material existence, who are they? Others, please. Who are they? Those who are trying to find ultimate liberation, who are they? Aspiring for the liberation from the material existence.
Jnana yogis, Ashtanga yogis.
Jnana yogis, yes, right. And third, those who are the devotees in Krishna consciousness. They are Bhakti yogi. Okay. So yeah, Jnana yogi and Ashtanga yogi, all, they are aspiring for the liberation. Those who are following the rules and regulations of the society for the material happiness may be further divided into two classes. Those who are fruity workers and those who desire no fruit for sense gratification. What is that terminology? What is that terminology? Haribol?
Sakam.
Sakam Karma Yogi and
Haribol.
Niskama Karma Yogi.
And Nishkam Karma Yogi. Very nice. Those who are after fruitive results for sense gratification may be elevated to the higher standard of life, even to the highest planets. But still, because they are not free from the material existence, they are not following truly the auspicious path. Who are they? Who are they? Yeah, please. Unmute and answer. If you know the answer, please unmute and answer.
Sakam only, no? Sakam karmi, aspiring for heavenly pleasures. Please give answer. Any activity which is not aimed at ultimate self-realization or liberation from the material bodily concept of life is not at all auspicious. Huh? Okay. Activity in Krishna consciousness is the only auspicious activity, and anyone who voluntarily accepts all bodily discomforts for the sake of making progress on the path of Krishna consciousness can be called a perfect transcendentalist under severe austerity. And because the Eightfold Yoga system is directed toward the ultimate realization of Krishna consciousness, such practice is also auspicious. And no one who's trying his best in this matter need fear and degradation. Okay. So the path of bhakti is completely one can be fearless because of confirmation, security. Real life insurance is there, LIC, which remains even after you die, and you also get benefit, not only your family member. Hare Krishna. प्राप्य पुण्यकृतां लोकान् उषित्वा शाश्वतिः सा शुचिनां श्रीमतां गेहे योगभ्रष्टो विजायते.
The unsuccessful yogi, after many years of enjoyment on the planets of the pious living entities, is born into a family of righteous people or into a family of rich aristocracy.
So this verse is for those people or those yogis, those who fall after little progress. 41 and 42nd verse, next verse, that is fall down after long practice of yoga. So those who fall after little progress, Krishna fulfill their desires because they have some material desire. Okay, Krishna fulfill their desire. They get the heavenly result. Okay, beta, you want some little pleasure? Get this pleasure, enjoy in heaven. And then again they will fall down and they will take birth in Suchinam Srimatam Gehe, in the family of Shuchinam, that means pious, and Srimatam, that means rich family, pious and rich family. Pious and rich, not the impious rich. This is very important here. Pious and rich, that means they're either dharmic, religious, or devotional, whatever meant. Piety. They have that piety. And okay. So please read. Please read purport.
The unsuccessful yogis are divided into two classes. One is fallen after very little progress, and one is fallen after long practice of yoga. The yogi who falls after a short period of practice goes to the higher planets, where pious living entities are allowed to enter. After prolonged life there, one is sent back again to this planet to take birth in the family of a righteous Brahmana, Vaishnava, or of aristocratic merchants. The real purpose of yoga practice is to achieve the highest perfection of Krishna consciousness, as explained in the last verse of this chapter. But those who do not preserve to such an extent and who fail because of the material allurements are allowed by the grace of the Lord to make full utilization of their material propensities. And after that, they are given opportunities to live prosperous lives in righteous or aristocratic families. Those who are born in such families may take advantage of the facilities and try to elevate themselves to full Krishna consciousness.
So they go to the higher planet, and after prolonged life there, one is sent back again to this planet to take birth in a family of righteous Brahmana, Vaishnava, or aristocratic birth. Okay. Shrimatam, Shuchinam, and Shrimatam. Shuchinam is Brahman, Vaishnava, righteous, dharmic, or aristocratic. Okay. So here it is mentioned that they go to the higher planet, enjoy, and then take birth. That means Krishna fulfill their desire, and then it takes little time, prolonged time. And that is the difference between fall of a less advanced yogi and more advanced yogi. That's not what happened with the Bharat Maharaj. Bharat Maharaj, he fall, but he had made a lot of great progress. And because of his attachment at the time of the death, Bharat Maharaj took birth in a family of a deer, but with intact Krishna consciousness. His consciousness was intact. And then he took birth in a family of a great Brahmana as a Jada Bharata. And that's what we see in the life of a Jada Bharat Maharaj. He didn't enter into the heavenly planet, because for Bharat Maharaj entering into the heavenly planet, staying there for thousands and thousands of years, and then coming back to the earth, will be a great punishment. So, but he was very great devotee. That's why Lord didn't give such a great punishment to Bharat Maharaj for his mistake, because he was very advanced yogi. So let us see what happens. Fall after a long period of practice of the yoga. Athava yoginameva kule bhavati dhimatam etatti durlabhataram loke janma yadidrisham.
Or if unsuccessful after long practice of yoga, he takes his birth in a family of transcendentalists who are surely great in wisdom. Certainly such a birth is rare in this world.
Etatti durlabhataram loke janma yadidrisham. So taking birth in a family of a transcendentalist is very, 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 very rare. So such a purport. Birth in a family of a yogi or transcendentalist, those with the great wisdom, is praised herein, because the child born in such a family receives the spiritual impetus from the very beginning of his life. So, especially child who takes birth in a family of a very advanced husband and wife spiritually. Both are very good devotees practicing Krishna consciousness, and they are fixed in their goal, and they aspire for a offspring only for the sake of making him Krishna conscious. They don't have any other motive. So such a transcendentalist taking birth in such a family is very, 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 very rare. So here, this is very important, the consciousness of a parents. That means if the consciousness of the parent is elevated, they will get the elevated soul. who is a fallen yogi in his previous life. That fallen yogi will take birth in a family of advanced parents. Those who have no any other goal than liberation or the devotional service, pure devotional service. So here, birth in a family of a yogi or transcendent into praise here. Because the child born in such a family receives spiritual impetus from the very beginning of life. It is especially the case in the Acharya or Goswami family. Acharya or Goswami families. Such families are very learned and devoted by tradition and training, and thus they become spiritual masters. In India, there are many such Acharya families, but they have now degenerated due to the insufficient education and training. So here you see what is mentioned, families, not the parampara of Acharya, but they're mentioning here families, the whole lineage in that particular family, everybody became Acharya. You know, have you seen any such family? I came across one family and I associated very closely with them. When I was in Melkote, I came in contact with Lakshmi Tatacharya because we had some desire, and Bhakti Rasamrita Swami Maharaj had mentioned me that there is a Lakshmi Tatacharya. Now, God knows, Krishna knows how many years he's there on the earth. If you want to learn some principles of the Gurukul system, kindly take his association. That's what in 2015 Maharaj had mentioned to me. So I started associating with Lakshmi Tatacharya. From Bangalore, I would go along with 3-4 devotees and stay there for a week, in a 4-5 days, something. And that is actually was Gurukul, means staying with the Guru in his and learning from him. So his another house was there. We would stay there. At Jason, he was alone, and he had 2 sons. So who is Lakshmi Tatacharya? Basically, coming to the point, he is coming in the lineage of Anantacharya. Anantacharya, you know, the disciple of Ramanuja, one who started worship of Tirupati Balaji, you know, and he would grow flowers for the Tirupati, you know, Anantacharya. So Lakshmi Tatacharya comes in that family, that lineage, and Lakshmi Tatacharya had a whole record of all the Anantacharya's son, his son, his son, his son, his son. Lakshmi Tatacharya's generation of 36th generation, he mentioned that. Mine is 36th generation. And all our, from the Anantacharya to myself, every one of one in my family, they became Acharya. Everybody became Acharya. That means what? Everybody in their family lineage was a pure devotee. He told that my father was pure devotee. My father's father was pure devotee. My father's father was, they were all gurus and they had disciples in Sri Sampradaya. They would make disciples and they would, they were scholars in a Sri Sampradaya. Even Lakshmi Tatacharya is considered one of the greatest scholars in Sri Sampradaya. So I saw that family witness and took association. While associating with this Lakshmi Tatacharya, I just felt as if I am associating with one Acharya, or if I didn't got association of Srila Prabhupada. Unfortunately, I am not getting association with my spiritual master, but such a pure devotee, although not in Gaudiya Sampradaya, but Ramanujacharya Sampradaya, representing Ramanujacharya so dearly, so dedicated to Ramanuja. And then I asked him, what about your son? Now 2 sons, and his son is also a great scholar, and he is head of department of the Sanskrit department in University of Madras, University of Mysore, Sanskrit. He's a Sanskrit scholar. And another son, what he is doing? He is also he's a basically scholar in knowing all the scripts and translating all the manuscripts and preserving all the old manuscript. That means they are into that business only, both the sons. To another son, because he accepted a lecturer, professor in a university, and at the same time he is one of the kind of a teacher and acharya in Sri Sampradaya. He got married, and another he didn't got married because nobody ready to give daughter, because he is just a manuscript collector and translator. So he was at the age of 40, 42, and Tatacharya was mentioned. Till now, I am searching a daughter-in-law. That means searching a wife for my second son. So that is a situation, and he was staying in that to Bangalore. Bangalore means everybody want IT only guy. So, so that's the situation basically. So I mean to say here, family of Goswami or family of Acharya. Everybody is Acharya in the whole lineage. And taking birth in such a family is a really that soul is very rare, very fortunate soul. Prabhupada now saying, see, by the grace of the Lord, there are still families that post the transcendentalist generation after generation. That's what I was mentioning. This line was so relevant for me, or it was irrelevant when I did Bhakti Shastri course. That time I didn't saw any one family. That means, but when I met Lakshmi Tatacharya, and when I read this line, then I could reconnect. Oh, here is a family which I saw. It is possible. It is possible. Generation after generation means what? 1,000 years. You know, 1,000 years before you are a disciple of Ramanuja, and after so many generations also, they are pure devotees. They are acharyas. And that's why in Krishna consciousness, we should not just preach to the neighbors and make devotee. We should not do just preaching means not preaching to the neighbor, make devotees. And in our own home, we are not able to make our sons and daughters devotee. No. The Krishna consciousness should also go vertical, not just horizontal. What? Vertical means what? Father, son, 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 son. That is the responsibility of Grahastha. Brahmacharis will do horizontal preaching and Grahastha should do horizontal come vertical, both. So it is certainly very fortunate to take birth in such families. Fortunately, both our spiritual master, Om Vishwavaj, Sri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj, and our humble self, who is our humble self? He is telling about himself, Prabhupada. Had the opportunity to take birth in such families by the grace of the Lord, and both of us were trained in the devotional service of the Lord from the very beginning of our life, and later on made by the order of the transcendental. So, Uddharan Thakur's family is basically, I heard Uddharan Das Thakur, who is an associate of Nityananda Prabhu. And then down it comes. That is Bhaktivinoda Thakur's family. And in that family, all were pure devotees. Even Bhaktivinoda Thakur's family, everybody, his grandfather was a pure devotee. So that's the lineage. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is pure devotee. Then Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is pure devotee, like this. And that is also a family of a pure devotee. And Prabhupada says that I am also coming in his great family. His father, Gaur Mohan Dey, was a pure devotee. Prabhupada says my father was pure devotee, you know. Yeah. So Prabhupada mentioning that in myself also very fortunate to take birth in such a family. Okay. Hare Krishna. Gormonde was very ideal father. Prabhupada mentioned, I wanted to marry with one particular girl, but I could not marry. And I have to get married with this, whatever name of wife, I don't know, Radharani something. But that was not a proper choice. But father told that, oh, my dear son, whatever may be the now destiny, now you got married with this girl. It's your great fortune, because if you get married with the girl which you like, then you will remain attached to the family life, and you will never develop a detachment from the family life. So for your progress in a bhakti, getting married with the girl which of not your choice is good. So that's what Gormond is counseling to his son. And that too, his wife was too materialistic. We know, tea or me. She chose her tea, and that is our great fortune. Tatra tam buddhi samyogam labhate paurvadehikam yatate chatayo tato bhuyah samsiddho kurunandana.
Translation. On taking such a birth, he revives the divine consciousness of his previous life, and he again tries to make further progress in order to achieve complete success. O son of Kuru.
So now here, continuing the theme, so he revives the divine consciousness of his previous life. Purport, King Bharat, who took his third birth in a family of a good Brahmana, is an example of the good birth for the revival of the previous transcendental consciousness. King Bharat was the emperor of the world, and since his time, this planet has been known among the demigods as Bharatavarsha. Formerly, it was known as Ilavartavarsha. The emperor, at an early age, they retired for the spiritual perfection but failed to achieve success. In his next life, he took birth in a family of a good Brahmana and known as Jadbharata. Next life. Because he always remained secluded and did not talk to anyone. And later on, he was discovered as the greatest transcendentalist by the king Rahuguna. From his life, it is understood that the transcendental endeavors or the practice of the yoga never go in vain. By the grace of the Lord, the transcendentalist gets repeated opportunities for complete perfection in Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna. Okay. पूर्वाभ्यासेन तेनैव स्फुर्यते यवसोऽपि सः जिज्ञासुरपि योगस्य शब्दब्रह्माति वर्तते.
Translation. By virtue of the divine consciousness of his previous life, he automatically becomes attached to the yogic principles, even without seeking them. Such an inquisitive transcendentalist stands always above the ritualistic principles of the scriptures.
So, because of divine consciousness in previous life, he automatically become attached to the yogic group. Because of the previous samskara of the previous samskara or devotional samskara or piety, devotional piety, bhakti unmukh sukriti, he avashenapi, and that means without any endeavor. he gets attracted to the process of the bhakti. And he makes a swift progress in a bhakti. So even without seeking them, yeah. Such an inquisitive transcendentalist, he stands always above the ritualistic principle of the scriptures. Okay. They're beyond the ritual principle of the scripture. Purport.
Advanced yogis are not very much attracted to the rituals of the scriptures, but they automatically become attracted to the yoga principles, which can elevate them to complete Krishna consciousness, the highest yoga perfections. In the Srimad Bhagavatam 3.33.7, such disregards of Vedic rituals by the advanced transcendentalist is explained as follows. Aho bata swa
Aho bato pachotu garyan yajjivagre vartate nama tubhyam tre puskapastu jihunvasnaya brahman charnam grunti ete. Oh my Lord, verses to chant the holy name of your Lordship are far, far advanced in spiritual life. Even if born in the families of the dog eaters, such chanters have undoubtedly performed all kind of austerities and sacrifices, bathed in all the sacred places, and finish all scriptural study. Okay, that means the fact that somebody has practiced Krishna consciousness means he has done everything, all those auspicious activities. Okay. Okay, the famous example of this was presented by Lord Chaitanya, who accepted Thakur Haridas as one of his most important disciples. Although Thakur Haridas happened to take birth in a Muslim family, he was elevated to the post of Namacharya by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu due to his rigidly attended the principle of chanting 300,000 holy names of the Lord daily. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And because he chanted the holy name of the Lord constantly, it is understood that in his previous life, he must have passed through all the ritualistic methods of the Vedas known as Shabda Brahma. Unless, therefore, one is purified, one cannot take to the principle of Krishna consciousness or become engaged in chanting of the holy name of the Lord. Hare Krishna. So, example of Thakur Haridas, born in a Muslim family, but chanting 3 lakh, holy name. What it shows, that means in previous life he has performed all the ritualistic process. Now he need not do. He's simply chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. That is sufficient for him. He need not do all other ritualistic activities as we mentioned in the Vedas. Because he is he is not a Swanishtita Paranishtita Bhakta. He is a Nirapeksha category, completely Nirapeksha category. I hope the terminology Swanishtita Bhakta, Paranishtita Bhakta, Nirapeksha is clear. Many times we discussed previously. Swanishtita Bhakta is a devotee, but at the same time, he follows regulatory principle of the Varnashrama very strictly. This Swanishtita Bhakta. So, or chapter 1 to 6, Karma Yoga, where there is a Mishran of the karma. That's kind of Bhakta, Swanishtita Bhakta. Bhakti, he is a Bhakta only, but Karma Mishrita. So that is Swanishtita. Paranishtita Bhakta, he has given up. He need not do activities. He is pure. But still he does for the set of setting an example for others. That is Paranishtita Bhakta. He practices Shuddha Bhakti only. There is no Mishran of any Karma, Jnana, and Yoga. In case of the Nirapeksha Bhakta, he is Babaji or Sannyasi, renounced order of life. He don't have any obligation for any Varnashrama duty. He is beyond that. So that's the Nirapeksha Bhakta. Haridas Thakur comes in Nirapeksha category. Thakur Haridas. So no any obligation for him. So then such a devotee attain perfection. That's what is mentioned in verse number 45. Prayatnad yatamaanastu yogi samshuddha kilbishah aneka janma samsiddhas tato yati param gatim.
Translation. And when the yogi engages himself with sincere endeavor in making further progress, being washed of all contaminations, then ultimately achieving perfection after many, many births of practice, he attains the supreme goal.
So such a yogi who has taken birth in a family of a transcendentalist, continuation, and such a yogi who has revived his divine consciousness of his previous life, such a yogi, he is engaging himself in sincere endeavor in making progress, further progress. Now he don't want to give a second chance. He knows now enough. I don't want now any more chance. This lifetime, I want to make it a last attempt. Enough. So being washed of all the contamination. That means what? Being washed of all contamination means Yesham tu antakatam papam jananam punyakarmanam. Being washed of all contamination. They'll ultimately achieving perfection after many, many births. Many births of practice. Then he will achieve perfection after many births of practice, and he attains the supreme goal. So this is the perfection he achieved. Purport. A person born in a particularly righteous and aristocratic or sacred family becomes conscious of his favorable condition for executing yoga practice. With determination, therefore, he begins his unfinished task, and thus he completely cleanses himself of all the material contamination. That is anartha nivritti. And when he is finally free of all the contamination, he attains the supreme perfection of Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is the perfect stage of being freed from all contamination. And this is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 7.28. Yesham tu antagatam papam jananam punya karmanam vedanda moha nirmukta bhajante mam dridhaprata. After many births of the executing pious activities, when one completely freed from all contamination and from all illusory duality, one becomes engaged in constant loving service of the Lord. So here, Yesham tu antagatam papam jananam punya karmanam vedanda moha nirmukta bhajante mam dridhaprata. Bhagavad Gita. We already just in the same. Next chapter it will come 7.28. Yeah, because I get confused because in Belgaum also I give Bhakti Shastra. So 7.28 it will come now. If this verse, how to understand this verse? Yesham tu antagatam papam jananam punya karmanam. यानी पुण्य कर्म करके पाप का अंत होता है क्या? Can you counteract your sinful activities by performing pious activity?
No,
This
no.
is question for all of.
No.
No, Prabhuji.
No. Yeah. So, but here, this contradiction is there in this verse. Yesham tu antagatam papam jananam punya karmana. पुण्य कर्म करके आप क्या करो? पापों को धो लो, बाद में आपका दृढ़ भक्ति स्टार्ट होगा, आप द्वंद्व से बाहर आ जाओगे, तो ये द्वंद्व मोह निर्मुक्ता, द्वंद्व एंड मोह निर्मुक्ता भजन्ते माम दृढ़ व्रता. So how to understand this verse? So here there is two inconsistency in this verse. One is the punya karma, cannot wash the papa. One inconsistency is there. Second, just punya karma is not the prerequisite qualification for bhakti. Bhakti don't need that you should be doing pious activity, then you can become bhakta. Okay? So both way, this verse is wrong. Our understanding of the verse is wrong. Verse is right. So how to understand this verse? Because bhakti is ahetuki. Bhakti don't need any prerequisite qualification of punya karma. And your punya karma, you cannot be counteracted by performing the pious activities. No. Papa karma cannot be counteracted by the piety. So, what is the right understanding of this verse? See, papa is a sinful tendency. Actually, it is not the papa. Which literal meaning of the papa, we should not be taken sinful activity, but we have to take here as a antagata papa means what? Means anartha nivrutti. It should be taken as anartha nivrutti, not the sinful activity, but the unwanted artha, anartha within the heart. That becomes nivrutta. And here punya karmana is not pious activity, but activities which pleases Krishna and devotee, that is bhakti only. Punya karma. Real punya karma is bhakti. By performing bhakti process, bhajana kriya, anartha nivrutti happens. Bhajana kriya, then te dvandva moha nirmukta bhajante mam drudha. What is that? Is bhajante mam drudha. That is nishtha stage. So when the nishtha stage comes after anartha nivrutti. That's why here to antagatam papam is actually anartha nivrutti. It should be anartha nivrutti. Otherwise, this verse cannot be properly justified. There is an inconsistency in the verse. It is against the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. Bhakti philosophy से ये तो contradict करता है ये verse फिर. So it should be understood properly, this verse. Again I am repeating. Esham tu antagata papam. Here antagata papam means anartha nivrutti. Jananam punya karmanam means one who perform that karmana which pleases Krishna and devotee, that is bhakti yoga. Te dvandam moha nirmukta. They get rid of the dvanda which is caused because of anartha, moha which is caused because of anartha, and bhajante mam drudha vrata, and they get established into the nishtha bhakti, naishtiki, bhakti naishtiki. तपस्विभ्यो अधिको योगी ज्ञानिभ्योऽपि मतोऽधिक कर्मिभ्यश्चाधिको योगी तस्मात् योगी भवार्जुन.
Translation: a yogi is greater than the ascetic, greater than the empiricist, and greater than the fruitive worker. Therefore, O Arjuna, in all circumstances be a yogi.
See here, very unclear understanding in this verse. Be a yogi. What is yogi? Which yogi? Karma yogi bano? Jnani yogi bano? Ashtanga yogi bano? Be yogi. Which yogi? अरे पहले तो बोला है ना तपस्विभ्योधिको योगी. तपस्विभ्योधिको योगी. One, what is that? Ascetic tapasvi. Who is that ascetic? Ashtanga yogi. So this yogi adhiko, that means is a greater than the Ashtanga yogi. Jnanibhyopit adhiko, jnanibhyopi matodhika. That yogi is greater than the even the empiricist, means ज्ञानी योगी से भी बड़ा है वो आगे. And third thing comes कर्मिभ्यश्चाधिको योगी is greater than the fruity worker. तो किसकी बात चल रही है यहाँ पर? कौन सा योगी बनो भवार्जुन? आपने
भक्ति
तो
योगी।
कर्मी कैंसिल कर दिया, ज्ञानी कैंसिल किया, अष्टांग योगी को कैंसिल कर दिया है। अभी कौन सा योगी भवा अर्जुन बोल रहे हैं? भक्ति योगी बनो, वेरी क्लियर। although it is unclear, not specific. तस्मात भक्ति योगी भवा अर्जुन, तो भक्ति डाला तो वो वर्ड ज्यादा हो जाता है। और तो कैसे कैसे करे वर्ड? भक्ति योगी भवा अर्जुन, तो तस्मात निकाल के तो ओके, भक्ति वो छुपा हुआ है वहां पर, एंड दैट इज बिकम क्लियर इन द नेक्स्ट वर्स purport. When we speak of the yoga, we refer to the linking our consciousness with the supreme absolute truth. Such a process is named differently by the various practitioners in terms of the particular method adopted. When the linking process is predominated in productive activities, it is called karma yoga. When predominated by empirical, it is called jnana yoga. And predominated in the devotional service, then it is called bhakti yoga. Bhakti yoga, Krishna consciousness, ultimate perfection of all the yogas, as will be explained in the next verse. Yes. The Lord has confirmed herein the superiority of the yoga, but he has not mentioned that it is better than bhakti yoga. Bhakti yoga is full spiritual knowledge, and therefore nothing can excel it. Asceticism without this self-knowledge is imperfect. Empiric knowledge without the surrender to the Supreme Lord is imperfect. And the productive work without Krishna consciousness waste of time. So, all other process, they are linked with the bhakti. Perfection in the process depend upon bhakti. Therefore, the most highly praised form of the yoga performance mentioned here in bhakti yoga. And this is still more clearly explained in the next verse. Okay? That's what we will go for the next verse. Yoginam api sarvesham madgate nantaratmana saddhaman bhajate yomam samay yuktatamo matah.
And of all the yogis, the one with great faith who always abides in me, thinks of me within himself, and renders transcendental loving service to me. He is the most intimately united with me in yoga and is the highest of all. This is my opinion.
So after 46 verse, Tasmat Yogi Bhavarjuna, he is telling what kind of yogi he should become. That kind of yogi naam api sarvesham madgate nantaratmanam. Madgate nantaratmanam means he is always meditating on me. So always abide in me, and he's always thinking about me. Manmana mad bhakto. And Shraddhavan bhajate, with the faith is do bhajan. That means bhajate means devotional service. With the faith he performs devotional service. He serve me. Bhajate yomam. Same Shraddhavan bhajate yomam. Same yukta tamo matah. So yoginam api sarvesha, among all the yogi, such a yogi is the greatest, highest. That is my opinion, Arjuna. Krishna's opinion. He's telling his opinion. Okay? Yeah. So everybody needs help of bhakti process. But this, purport, the word bhajate is significant here. Bhajate has its root in the verb bhaja, which is used when there is need of service. English for worship cannot be used in the same sense as bhajan. Worship means adore or show respect, honor to the worthy one. But service with love and faith is especially meant for Supreme Supreme God. One can avoid worshipping a respectful man or a demigod, or maybe called discourteous. But one cannot avoid serving the Supreme Lord without being thoroughly condemned. Okay, if you don't give respect to demigod, okay, you are probably arrogant, discourteous. Okay, But if you don't perform service to the Supreme Lord, then he thoroughly condemned. Thoroughly condemned. Why? Thoroughly, because every living entity is a part and parcel of Supreme Son of God, and thus every living entity is intending to serve the Supreme Lord by his own constitution. Failing to do so, he falls down. Jivera Swarupa Krishnera Nityadas. Bhagavatam confirm this as follows. Even 5:3. Esham Purusham Sakshat Atma Prabhavam Ishvaram Na Bhajanti Avajananti Sthanat Bhrashtat Patantyadha. Na Bhajanti Avajananti. Anyone who does not render service and neglects his duty unto the Premier Lord, who is the source of all living entities, will certainly fall down from his constitutional position. That's what he's thoroughly condemned. No, that thing is being established, through this verse. Na bhajanti avajananti sthanat bhrashtat patanti adha. This line is very important. Na bhajanti avajananti sthanat bhrashtat patanti. He falls down. Okay. Now, in this word, bhajanti is used. Therefore, bhajanti is applicable to the Supreme Lord only, whereas the word worship is applicable to the demigods and in other common living. So, whenever we say worship, means demigod, and bhajan means Krishna. The word avajananti in this word of Srimad Bhagavatam is also found in the Bhagavad Gita, where comes avajananti mamudha manushan karmashrita parambhavam ajananto mama bhuta maheshwaram. In that, that will come in the, I think, 7th chapter. Avajananti Mamudha. 8th or 7th. Avajananti, 8th chapter. Avajananti Mamudha. Only the fools and transcendentally deride the Supreme Personality of God, Lord Krishna. And such a fool take it upon themselves to write commentaries on the Bhagavad Gita without an attitude of the service to the Lord. Consequently, they cannot properly distinguish between the word bhajanti and the word worship. Okay. So till this point, the word bhajate, this is what being explained in the purport. Okay. Now, next paragraph onwards, there is a discussion of how Bhakti Yoga is highest than Karma, Jnana, and Ashtanga Yoga. Let us go through it. Yeah. The culmination of all kind of the yoga practice lies in Bhakti Yoga. All other yogas are but means to come to the point of the Bhakti in the Bhakti Yoga. Yoga actually means Bhakti Yoga. All other yogas, they are progressions toward the destination of the Bhakti Yoga. And this is yoga ladder, basically. We always remember ladder. Ultimately, they need to reach to Bhakti Yoga. From the beginning of the Karma Yoga to the end of Bhakti Yoga is a long way to self-realization. Karma Yoga without fruitive results is the beginning of this path. That is what? Nishkama Karma Yoga. And Nishkama Karma Yoga, so much time we have given. Almost 2 chapters are full with Nishkama Karma Yoga. 3rd chapter, 4th chapter, even 5th chapter, action in Krishna consciousness. Nishkama Karma Yoga only. The 3rd, 4th, 5th, very in detail it goes. So, when the Karma Yoga increases in knowledge and renunciation, that is called Jnana Yoga. When the Jnana Yoga increases in meditation on the super soul, by the different physical process and the mind is on him, it is called Ashtanga Yoga. And when one surpasses the Ashtanga Yoga and comes to the point of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, That is called Bhakti Yoga. So Bhakti Yoga, inbuilt, there is knowledge, there is detachment, there is meditation of Ashtanga Yogi, and in addition, there is a devotion, which is not there and missing in all previous yoga system. But devotee is having special, he is having devotion, bhakti, bhav. Bhakti is there. Yeah. Navavidha Bhakti. Actually, Bhakti Yoga is the ultimate goal. But to analyze Bhakti Yoga minutely, one has to understand this other yoga. Who is progressive is therefore on the true path of eternal good fortune. One who sticks to the particular point and does not make further progress, they are called Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, Raj Yoga, Hatha Yoga, etc. They're fixed in that they don't make any progress. So they permanently became Karma Yogi, Jnani Yogi, Hatha Yogi. They have not made any other progress further. Just like somebody complete the 12th pass, तो क्या बोलेंगे उसको? ये इसका क्या है? एजुकेशन क्या है? 12वीं है पास। 4 साल के बाद उसका क्या एजुकेशन है? वो 12वीं है। That because he has not made a progress. When he goes to, then he completes a degree. Then we say, okay, he is a doctor or the engineer. Then further we go, oh, he is practicing now. He is having this much experience. He go further. Okay, and ultimately he becomes Bhakti Yogi. Therefore, to become Krishna consciousness. Therefore, to become Krishna consciousness is the highest stage of yoga. Just as when we speak of Himalaya, we refer to the world's highest mountain, of which the highest peak, Mount Everest, is considered to be the culmination. So Bhakti Yoga is the Mount Everest of the yoga system. Okay? It is by the great fortune that one come to the Krishna consciousness, to the path of Bhakti, to become well situated according to the Vedic direction. The ideal yogi, he concentrates his attention on Krishna. Now, henceforth, whole is about focuses on Bhakti Yoga. Okay? So, the ideal yogi concentrates his attention on Krishna, who is called Shyamasundar. Shyamasundar. Venun Kanantamaravinda Dalayakaksham Barahavatam Samasitam Buddhasundarangam Kandarpakoti Kamani Vishesh Shobham Govinda Mahadipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. So that is the explanation. Ideally, you consider who is called Shyamasundar. So who is as beautifully colored as the cloud, whose lotus-like face is effulgent as the sun, whose dress is brilliant with the jewel, and whose body is flower garlanded. Barahavatam samasitam. Okay. So, illuminating all sides is his gorgeous lustre, which is called the Brahmajyoti. He incarnates in the different forms like Rama, Narasimha, Varaha, Krishna, the Supreme Personality Godhead. And he descends like a human being as the son of Mother Yashoda. So, Rama, the Murti Sukalani, Amina Tishtana, Navatarama Karod, Bhoni, Shikindu, Krishna Swayam Samabha, Parama, Puman, Yo, Gomindamadi, Purusham, Tamam Bajami. He is a perfect child, husband, friend, and master, and is full with all appearances and transcendental qualities. One remains fully conscious of these features of the Lord is called highest yogi. What is that? Bhakti yoga. This stage of the highest perfection of the yoga can be attained only by the Bhakti yoga, as it is found in Vedic religion. Yasya deve parabhaktiri yatha deve tatha guru tasya te kathita hi artha prakashante mahatmana. So this is Shvetashvatar Upanishad. only unto those great souls who have implicit faith in both the Lord and the spiritual master are all the imports of the Vedic literature automatically revealed. Bhakti rasya bhajanam tad iha mruktopati nairajyena mushmin manah kalpanam etat eva naishkarmyam. Bhakti means devotional service to the Lord, which is free from the desire for the material property, either in this life or the next. Devoid of such inclination, one should fully absorb the mind in the Supreme, and that is purpose of Naishkarmyam. So these are some of the means of performance of the Bhakti or Krishna consciousness, the highest perfection stage of yoga system, and that's the end of the Vedanta. Fifth chapter. Hare Krishna. So here, Shraddhavan bhajate yo mam same yukta tamo mata. So word Shraddhavan comes. Shraddhavan jana hai, nadiya godru mein nityananda mahajan. Shraddha is faith in bhakti. Faith in bhakti, Shraddha is two types of Shraddhas are there. One is Laukik Shraddha and second is Shastri Shraddha. So we are talking about what? Which Shraddha here? Faith in bhakti. Bhakti Shastra only. Shastri Shraddha. And such a person is Yom Bhajate Samaya Yukta Tamo Mataha. They are completely dedicated to Lord Vishnu. Narayan Parayana comes, no? Narayan Parayan means one who just agreed to worship Krishna. So Narayan Parayana is a sadhaka, one who just agreed to worship Krishna only. Muktanam api siddhanam Narayana Parayana Potishpapi yeah. Such Narayan Parayana, they are very rare among the crores and crores of the people. Such yogis are very rare. So, so even those who have Shraddha or Bhajaneshu Spruha. So Bhajaneshu Spruha means they have inclination for the bhakti. Yet they have not started practice of the devotional service. But even such sadhaka, those who are Bhajaneshi Spruha category, they are greater than Jnani Yogi, Ashtanga Yogi, Karmi Yogi. Sadhaka Bhakta is also greater than the perfected Karmi Yogi, Jnani Yogi, and Ashtanga Yogi. That is the position of Bhakti. Bhajaneshi Spruha. Narayana Parayana. Muktanam api siddhanam Narayana Parayana. So, even sadhaka is higher than, even sadhaka is greater than the perfected, liberated persons, basically. Yeah, Haribol?
Sudurlabha Prashantatma Kotishvapi Mahamuni.
Sudurlabha Prashantatma Kotishvapi Mahamuni. Such a Sudurlabha Prashantatma Kotishvapi Mahamuni. So, this is what the position of Bhakti Yoga. So, Shraddhavan. So, they have only Shraddha in Bhakti process. And sometimes something is Vedic, something Vedic we say. But for everything what is Vedic need not be always anukul for the bhakti. So, because within the Veda there are the Jnana Shastra also, there are Dharma Shastra also, there are Karmi Shastra also. Everything is we call Veda. Because everything we call as Vedic need not be
devotional. So here, that's why when he said that he's having a faith in the Shastra, means what? He's having influencing faith on the Bhakti Shastra, especially Bhakti Shastra. That does not mean he don't trust other Shastra. He knows that such Shastra exists, and he believes that Krishna has given that facility for the for practicing Karmi, Jnani, and Ashtanga Yogi, but it is not for me. It is not for me. This is what the conviction of Shraddhavan Bhajate Yomam. The word Shraddhavan Bhajate Yomam. He is having Shraddha in the Bhakti literatures, and he practiced Bhakti literatures only. Other Shastra, they are bona fide, but only Bhakti Shastra, they are Anukul. That's why Anukulasya Sankalpa, and this is Pratikulasya Varjanam. Even he do the version, he neglects the literatures which are the Jnana Shastra, Dharma Shastra, and Karma Shastra, Karmi Shastra. So that is the level of a Shraddhavan Bhakta. So anything Siddhanta and Rasa, both aspect point of view, it should be in line with the principle of the Bhakti. If some Siddhanta and Rasa are contradictory to the principle of the Bhakti, he rejects that Siddhanta and Rasa Bhasa. Because he has properly understood the Bhakti Rasa and Bhakti Siddhanta. What? Bhakti Siddhanta and Bhakti Rasamrita. He has properly understood both. That's why it's Bhakti Vedanta. Bhakti Siddhanta, Bhakti Rasamrita, and Bhakti Vedanta. So that is Shraddhaman Bhajate Yomam Samay Yukta. And that's the end of today's discussion. Already 19. So, Hare Krishna, brief announcement. Today offline there is an exam. Yeah, just give me a minute. Where is the paper? So exam paper is there in front of me. So exam total 1.5 hours it takes. It will start at 7:30, end at 9 o'clock. If you want to start the exam at 7 o'clock, I'm ready, but I'm just telling daily we are assembling here online 7:30. So 7:30, I think is okay, no, for all of you, because after 9 o'clock you should be able to go back. So 7:30 to 9, okay, exam time. So total marks for the exam is 50 marks. And let me tell you, you need to, this is closed book exam. So chapter 7 to chapter, chapter 1 to 6 now. Chapter 1 to 6, I hope all of you have written the answers to all the question in your personal notebook while preparing for the exam. And I will suggest whenever chapter we are discussing here, immediately keep your student handbook also in the front and see the question and answer, because at the end of the question it is written, okay, this is a 6.5 verse. In that purport, when you are reading that purport, you underline and you write down there in short something Q22, answer to the question 22. So that, because all of you are so busy devotees, you may not get time, exclusive time for finding out the answer. So at least when we attend the Bhakti Shastri class, that time only you immediately mark there, this is answer to this question, so that you save time. And I always announce the open book questions in advance, so that same thing is applicable also for the open book. You should know this verse is related to open book. So immediately write down the open book assignment. That will not take much time. If you try to do it after 6 months, it takes more time. Okay. And same thing applicable for the shloka recitation. For shloka recitation, there are, I think, 12 shloka. Am I right? 12 shlokas, yeah?
Yes,
Yes,
Prabhu.
So nothing will come out of syllabus. Everything is within syllabus. All the questions are also within syllabus in exam. Close book also. So very easy. Probably you may finish the exam within half an hour, I hope. You may not require even for, in fact, 1.5 hours. Hare Krishna. One more thing. In exam, also, we are going to ask analogy, upamaye. Okay, not just close book question. Upamaye bhi hai. Upamaye yani analogies. If you see the student handbook, after the close book questions, immediately analogies are coming. So please prepare that analogies also. In the analogy, we will mention analogy. Feeding to the stomach, suppose for example. Only so you need to explain that while explaining the analogy, you need to tell that similarly, by serving Lord Sri Krishna, all the demigods also automatically we render service to them. We need not separately render service to the each and every demigod, because they are the limb of the body of Krishna. By serving Krishna, they are also satisfied. By feeding the stomach, like that. Like this, you need to explain the analogy. Okay? Hare Krishna. Fine. So this is first time exam, that's why I'm giving all these instruction. In future, these instructions we need not repeat. Fine. Any query? What about those who are outstation? They will also assemble on Zoom. They will also sit in the front. And I believe they will keep their answer book and Bhagavad Gita in the locker somewhere away. No screen. Only the screen will be Zoom screen, no answer in the front. Because you may look into the screen, but that may be the answer. But that's not a good practice. So, सर्वस्य चाहम हृदि सन्निविष्टो मत्त स्मृति ज्ञानम अपोहनम च. So, kindly practice the philosophy what we are reading. That Paramatma is there, Upadrushya Anumanta, and we trust, and all of us we are Shraddhavan, and so don't copy, and just give answer. And after writing answers, you please take this scan and send the scan copy to Dharmamurti Prabhu. He will compile or he'll collect at one place, and then he will send it to me. Oh, that's okay, Dharmamurti Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So 1 point of contact for collection or outstation.
and those who are offline, please be present. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Anything else? Any query?
Analogies will be asked during Shloka exam also.
No. In a part of close book,
Close book
50
exam.
marks. They are also part of 50 marks.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay. Fine. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Long life success.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Prabhuji.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Dhanavad.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Dhanyavad.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.